Da 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 da. It's Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter, and we're here back again, doing the thing. We're doing the thing that we keep on doing, because life is a never-ending void that you keep running down, running down, running down, running down. I feel like the running is really important. It's important to keep running. Madam, I can't hear you.
What? Why not? Why can't you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right, good. It's because I distressed the microphone so much from my shrieking into the microphone. Hello, good evening, Lady Judesborough is here. Aunt Lydia is here. TK is here. It's magic. I'm so excited. Hello, my darlings. It's so good to be back. I missed you last week. Monsieur Ghetto is a little bit freaking out because of that fabulous song we were singing coming in.
Yes. So we're here. We're here for an Ask Me Anything. But while we do that, Madame Askew and I are going to do something very silly, which I've already decided, and she has no idea what we're doing.
That's true. That's true. All right. Hello, Alicia. Hello, my darling. Hello. Kate,
Madam,
why
did you check your microphone settings to make sure you're on your normal microphone?
I'll try. Let's see if I can. I don't know. I'd have to maybe back out and come back in.
Settings section on the bottom.
Settings on the bottom. Let's try that. Okay.
Settings.
No, it says I'm on my normal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was working fine. We're having a real mess of technical problems. SteamYard is having a little fit today. She is not happy with her life.
No, she's not. She gave both of us little messages, and then also we weren't even sure we were going to both get in. It's been a thing. But hello, Alicia. Hello. Tracy, the SAS Master General, is here and ready for the most important thing, the silliness to begin. Grand Arbiter, I'm very excited. Yeah, and absolutely, the software is throwing a tantrum. There was an update and now things aren't talking to each other. Woo! Also, yes.
No, I'm trying to do...
Can you...
We can all hear you.
Right, good. I was like, do I need to mime?
You're just, every so often it blows out the speakers, I think, is what's happening.
I'm too excited. I need to move to semaphore. Yeah.
No, I think it's the... We'll do some tests later, I think, is what will happen. Not now, at a later date.
Like that. They did some big updates, and there's something where it's fine. We're not going to talk about the technology because that's not the jam, and normally we like it to be as seamless as possible. But tonight is not that kind of night. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. We are absolutely peak silliness this evening. We're always extremely silly, but we've sort of decided tonight, no holds barred. We're saying, ask me anything. So all the questions are welcome. And I am hyping myself up on the last of my Elixir d'Amour from Tea Punk Teas. We love our good friends at Tea Punk Teas, and if you've been keeping up with the news, they are closing down their shop. And this is me telling you that. So if there's a tea you love, you should stop by and see if it's still in stock. They have 20% off the entire shop right now. But they are selling out of things. So go sooner rather than later. Lady Junesquill wants to know if you turned me down. No one can turn me down, Lady Junesquill. I'm irrepressible.
I did turn her down a little bit, though. I did. I'm trying to manage the volume levels just a little bit. How am I sounding? Do I sound shrill and annoying like normal?
You sound like normal. You sound perfect in every way. I think.
I'll tell me if she's too quiet and I'll raise her volume back up.
Right, yes. Also, that's right. That's right. That is correct. That is correct. Also, hello, Scott Mistress. I'm happy you can jump in for a bit. But that's right. I am the Rick Rolling of the evening, Grand Arbiter. We have our first question. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it. I am ready for it all day long.
Ah.
Okay, everything's good now.
Excellent. Perfectly gay. Exactly what we wanted. Grand Arbiter, our dear Argent Peacock, Alicia asks, best pirate hat, bicorn or tricorn?
I think the bicorn is an unappreciated queen.
Yeah.
The bicorn is an unappreciated queen. The tricorn really suffers from also, like, you lose peripheral vision. Not with the bicorn. You don't lose any peripheral vision with bicorns.
No. Where is my bicorn? Look, here's my feeling about the humble bicorn. Tricorns are so sassy. Everyone's like, everyone can wear a tricorn. It doesn't open itself up for any lampooning. There's no ability to satire the tricorn at this point. Too many people have embraced the tricorn, but the bicorn, that is a bold move. And as we know from Murderbot and the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon, boldness is everything, and opening yourself up willingly.
It's actually even boldness is all.
Boldness is all. Absolutely correct. And so I feel strongly that being willing to wear a bicorn, whether shoulder to shoulder or tip to stern, is really a statement that you fear not the lampoon or the satire, that you have embraced your sartorial passion to an extent that you are willing to put yourself out there. Are you doing Napoleon? Maybe. Are you talking about Wellington? Who knows? But what we do know is you're fearless, and that's exciting in fashion terms. So I'm really keen on the bicorn. Yeah.
I'm glad that we both agree.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
glad we both agree on that. I also just think we want it to be clean. We like clean lines from time to time.
I'm definitely in a mood, but Tyson, my darling Subgothius, this really amuses me no end. He is awaiting the innovation of pancorn and polycorn hats. Absolutely the gayest of hats, the polycorn hat.
Unfortunately, the polycorn is an unstable geometric shape. So do you want to hear our fun thing we're going to be doing in between questions?
Yes.
So I have procured a steampunk personality quiz from the internet, from the bowels of the internet.
Oh, I see. All right. Good. Also, Alicia, I love this. Alicia says the most gay of hats obviously is the rainbow bicorn. Yeah, no lies detected. That's beautiful. Thank you.
I can't zoom any further, but we're just gonna go through it. There's only 7 questions. So we're just going to do one question at a time, and then we'll take a little break and do questions from the thing. So Matt, yes. The first question in this What's Your Steampunk Personality quiz from Pro Profs Quizzes, a illustrious site, if ever there was one.
Yes.
There's an enormous shipment of Aztec gold to be delivered this Friday by steamboat down at the wharf. You will be quickly hobbling together an explosive pocket watch to replace with that pesky guards, or were you supposed to be replacing it with the pirates? Oh bother, whose side are you on again? Be in the lab adding the final brass nut to your newest automaton. Why the blaze would you care about gold when there are entire nations that need conquering? B, following the ship in your dirigible from a distance, of course. We can't have the Mark know he's the Mark, or the whole hijack thing would be an instant failure.
Oh.
B, protecting the gold delivery, your trusty pistol at your side and your clockwork eye scanning every which way for signs of trouble. Or 5, B, at the wharf waiting, parasol and or top hat in hand. It is your gold, after all.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to follow along in a dirigible.
You want to
Honestly,
follow along in the dirigible to try to hijack the ship? And
yeah.
take some
No,
gold?
I am. I'm going to follow along and then lure them aboard for tea time. It'll be magical. And they'll think they're just having tea and biscuits, but actually they're being lured onto my ship to be trapped in my very cunning tea room / time portal. And then I'll just send everyone out to collect the gold. I have hats that need purchasing. I need
That's true.
that gold. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no!
Unpleasant.
We will try and resist. All right, Grand Arbiter, put us back and large, and let's get to the comments questions. We've got some fun ones, one for you and one for me, from our darling SAS Master General Tracy. And there's you're gonna hit the one for you first. All right.
I mean, I don't know. See where yours is. Where is yours?
So it's scroll
there
up.
it is. I see.
Yeah.
I didn't see the question mark.
Yeah. Madam, if you had to give up all your books or your fabric, which would it be? This is a horrific question. This is so hard. Do I have to give up the digital books too, or just the physical books? Like, what kind of book content are we talking about purging?
And can you buy new books?
Yes. Can I replace? Because, if I cannot replace all the books, the digital books and audiobooks too, oh my heavens.
No new books. No new books at all.
Honestly, this is such a conundrum. This is very hard. But I have to.
I think the real question is, do you ever want to work again?
Oh, wait, no new fabric? I don't get more fabric? If I purge all the fabric, I don't get new fabric? I can still use the library, though. I can still use the lending library, right? So I could still go to the library, because as long as I thought that I could buy more fabric after purging it all, then I was like, oh, I'd probably stick with the books. But if I cannot procure more fabric for future projects, then it has to be the books that go, because I can go to the lending library.
The question is, do you ever want to sew again?
Oh, forswear all books or all fabric forevermore. Look, if I had to forswear. Look, listen. Here's the thing. If I have to forswear either one of those forevermore, I am just going to have to go to the woods and become a bog witch in the woods. I'll have to find a woods with a bog. It'll be very messy, because I can't go on without access to books and fabric. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, no, also, yes, dear buttery goodness, this is very difficult. This is, wow.
Okay. The next one is for me. We're just going to catch back up. You run into RuPaul in a cafe and can ask one question. What is it? I think it's probably is RuPaul required to answer it honestly? Or is it just I can ask him the question and then he can do whatever he wants with it? Because if it's like I can ask him anything and he has to honestly answer the question, that changes my answer.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a fucking magic wish. Okay, I get an answer. Is the answer accurate? Like that's the other question. Can they lie or obscure the truth in some way, or do they have to be like clear and direct answers? He's planning to build a little nest out of cat fur, like a little rat. Okay.
You get a true answer.
Okay. If I get a true answer, I would say, RuPaul, with all of your influence, power, and cultural relevance, what responsibility do you feel like you have to improving queer life for everyone, not just people of wealth?
Oh, not even holding back. Not even holding back. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I can also ask, like,
goodness.
girl, do you think that fracking for gas is super cunt?
Oh, cantissimo. Also, oh my goodness. Yeah, no, the Grand Arbiter, not holding back.
I'm a very good interviewer if I know that the answer will be true.
That's excellent. Also, I love this. Look, the comments are on fire, everyone. It's so good. I'm very excited that we have like a little smack down going on in the comments. Buttery ratness. It's very good. You're all very funny. I love this.
In a van down by the river is where he'll be sleeping, however. Okay, this is another one for you, where the worst clothing crime, paisley and argyle or polka dots in plaid. So this is a thing. I don't think that Madam Askew and I are in agreement on this, actually.
Oh, all right. I will tell you what. Look, I love plaid so much. I love plaid. I love argyle. I love paisley. Polka dots and I have a torrid, difficult relationship. And so anything involving polka dots is a little bit of a danger zone for me. And I consider polka dots to mostly be riding that line of sartorial crime. It is rare for me that a polka dot works. Now, I say that whilst wearing a dress that happens to have polka dots mixed into the floral prints.
Those are dots. Just so we're clear, those are not polka dots.
They're not big enough.
They're not big enough, first of all.
Like
a polka dot, like if you can't tell if they're round or not from a distance, it's not a polka dot, right?
Yeah, no, those big Minnie Mouse polka dots. Look, Minnie was able to do it. It's very classic for Minnie Mouse, but
I think that the big thing for me is that, like, I think clashes tell us a story, right? Mm-hmm. They tell us something about them, and it's just both of these looks are different kinds of clowns. Like, are they crimes? No. Are they appropriate for every gala? Absolutely not, right? In the same way that lots of clothes are not appropriate for different kinds of events, right? It's not appropriate for me to go in short shorts to see, like, I'm not going to go into hot pants that say Daddy's Boy on the bottom into the Supreme Court. That seems inappropriate.
Yeah, we don't know what next year's going to bring. Also, Alicia, look, my friends, solidarity. This is our unhinged night. I warned everyone. There might even be ankles, although I'm not actually limber enough to display my ankles. So it would be on the Grand Arbiter to show off his ankles if there are going to be any ankles tonight. But you are perfect.
If you subscribe to the Patreon for, I don't know, $100 a month, you'll get one ankle shot. One ankle shot every year. If you subscribe for a whole year at $100, you get one ankle shot. That's it.
Ankle shot.
One. You get one.
So, look.
I'm not opposed to sex work. I just know that I'm worth more.
Yes, you are. Also, I think our beloved community is about you showing up in our pants. It's daddy on them. It's so good. No. All right, Grand Arbiter. That was a question for me. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up. I know there are some. Oh, yeah. There's rolling up, rolling. Yes. All right. If a cowboy takes the sea and piracy, does that make the cowboy hat a pirate hat?
No.
Grand Arbiter. No. No.
It's a hat that belongs to a pirate, but it's still a cowboy hat. What is its intended purpose? I don't think cowboy hats actually will do well on the sea. They will not do as well as their intended purpose. What is the purpose of a cowboy hat? To shield you from the sun and do some other factors. I just feel like there will be something. I feel like the salt air can't be good for a cowboy hat.
Oh, Grand Arbiter, we're about to disagree.
I just don't know if that's fair. That they're functionally similar, but like, what if your cowboy hat gets wet? Won't it be sad?
No, because they're made out of the same material as a pirate hat. They're both made out of beaver. And you know, a beaver likes to get wet, Grand Arbiter.
I mean, I think that was the preference for beavers, in my understanding.
Yeah, they're made for it. They're made for it.
Well, as long as the beavers are happy, I think we'll live.
I agree. It's very important to keep the beavers happy.
I guess the point of the tricorn is to be fancy, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's just fashion. It's just fashion, babe.
Shit. No, you know what it is? If you want a serious answer, here's the thing. The tricorn has gutters. And I did just say what I said out loud. I did. So the tricorn has gutters. It's sort of the same for a cowboy hat. The way it's folded up, those points will actually pour water out of them away from your face. So if you're being rained upon whilst you're on a ship, if there's a squall, it still shields your face from sun, but it also causes the rain to gush out like you've put a gargoyle on your head. It's just spitting water in 3 different directions.
Very effective guttering. We do have a question for you.
Ooh.
Madden, what is the crime that one could commit at a steampunk convention that could result in a sentence of no more tea ever? I just feel like anything that would deny someone tea permanently would also deny them entry into the convention.
That's true. Listen, are you a puppy kicker? Puppy kickers, no more tea ever.
Okay, what if the puppy loves to be kicked, though? In Pittsburgh, there's plenty of puppies getting kicked all over the place, and they're really into it. They're beating up puppies all over Pittsburgh right now.
Those puppies gave consent. And they're humans dressed as puppies. So
no, I mean, why is there a puppy at a steampunk convention? I don't think pets are generally, particularly a puppy. A puppy at a steampunk convention? That seems inappropriate.
People bring their puppies to steampunk cons.
Bring a dog? Sure. You could bring a working, helping dog? Sure. A puppy? A baby puppy?
Grand Arbiter. No dog is ever not a puppy. They are puppies forever. They carry the platonic idea of puppiness lives within every dog.
I'm saying, look, if we're the high crime of puppy kicking, sure. I feel like they would not be invited back to the convention as a whole, ever.
Oh, also, I heard this about why Twitch? I don't know why, but that's a very unfortunate state. No. Well, alas, but I'm happy you're here. Thank you for joining us, Robert. It is nonsense. And the puppy, I think, is not sad in this case. Although sad puppies, and if you know about
Oh my
WorldCon, you
God.
know who we're talking about.
Put it down. Put down the conversation. I will not continue.
No. All right, all right, all right. Well, yes, there are crimes that someone could commit, but they'd have to be so
Bill is really working
vile.
on the speed run to divorce, like while we speak.
That, you know what? Actually, Bill, my darling, remember the house on the rock. There are so many places to create a new home within the house on the rock. You could just go and stay in that weird little gatehouse portion. You'll have to stoop the whole time, but it's got a kitchen. Not a functional refrigerator.
I
Yeah.
just think that Bill should do better and not get divorced and kicked out to the street.
It's perfect in every way. I love Bill.
Writing soliloquies to make his bread.
Standing on this corner, handing out soliloquies. Yeah.
Will pros for provolone.
All right, but Will pros for provolone is really good. And here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
I don't have it. Like, I love all donuts. All donuts be good. I think there are two distinct kinds of donuts in the world. Cake,
yes.
Raised.
Yes.
Different jobs, different girls.
Yes.
They have different jobs. I actually think that I would name that there's three kinds of donuts.
Oh, tell me more.
There's raised, cake, and filled.
Filled.
I think filled is a different vibe than the other ones. Like, these are all three texture experiences. Yes. So, like, that's not a flavor thing. So I think that's different textures. So I am a Boston cream filled girly. It's almost always my go-to for a filled donut. If I'm getting 3 donuts, which is kind of a dream, right?
Yes.
A dream is 3 donuts. 3 donuts is the appropriate number of donuts for a single human being.
I agree. Yes.
So I'm getting a Boston cream filled donut because I'm a Twinkie and deserve it. A caked chocolate with chocolate icing. So a cake chocolate one with chocolate icing. It's glazed chocolate. That's the cake one. And then the raised donut, the one that's like the Krispy Kreme style donut, I actually think plain, old-fashioned, raised, the ones that are like the Krispy Kreme style, just standard glazed, plain, is very good. If it has like a strawberry icing, also good.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for me is that, like, really the raised ones all sort of taste the same. Not like taste, but like the experience is kind of the same for all of those. They're like slight taste differences, but really what you're going for me with donuts is it's texture then flavor. It's not flavor then texture. And texture is key to the positive donut experience.
Grand Arbiter, I love a raised donut so much. I'm very keen on crullers. And my most ultimate favorite donut in the universe is a cruller with strawberry frosting on it and no sprinkles. Just want the strawberry on the cruller.
Like ruin the texture for you?
They do. They're hard. They're gritty. And I'm like biting into the perfect cloud of dough. And I don't want sprinkles. I can take sprinkles on a cake donut better than I can on a raised donut. So I want that cloud.
Yeah. What about if it's like flat? If it's not a cruller style?
Oh, I mean, I like a raised donut when it's not a cruller style.
Like the fried ones, the ones they do at Krispy Kremes that are just strawberry sprinkles, flat, round donut.
Yeah, they're fine. They're nice, but they do not achieve the level of a cruller. If I am presented with a plain raised donut from Ye Olden Krispy Kreme, and an
And by the way,
old fashioned.
I'm using Krispy Kreme as an analogy for a style because it's hard to describe them.
So yes, but if I'm presented with the yeasted raised Krispy Kreme style donut and an old fashioned buttermilk donut, you know what I'm going to take? That old fashioned buttermilk donut.
If you had to choose, if you could
time.
only have one donut ever again.
Have one donut ever again. Yeah, that's right. I had to talk about those old-fashioned donuts because Robert asked, and I love Robert, and I love an old-fashioned donut. The buttermilk, the kind of crunchy outside, that perfect sugary glaze. They're like cakey but different. They're so good. I think they're in the cake family though, but they're special.
I
And
mean, all donuts are
yes.
special.
Yes.
So here's the thing. The only thing I like about Krispy Kreme is that it's consistent in a way that is not always the same between stores if I've never been to them. Obviously, if you've been to the store and like it, that's excellent.
Yes.
But if you go to a store and you don't know what you're going for and you like go for the wrong one and actually they're not famous for these at all and they're actually mediocre as mediocres, like I just think that donuts are a high risk behavior in the same way that cake is high risk. Pie is low risk, cake is high risk.
Listen, I have to agree with Robert. Go to the indie stores. Usually an independent donut purveyor is going to provide you the best donut experience, to be honest. Yes, I think this is correct. The main appeal of the Krispy Kreme is that you get them freshly made, right? And they're common. You can find them lots of places. It can be hard to find your independent donut shop.
Also, there's not donuts near me at all. So, like, there's a handful of donuts that are like close, but none of them are that close.
Oh,
so
no.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Oh, no.
You've been to our neighborhood. You would have to go pretty far to get donuts.
That's true. That's true. We are grateful for any donut we find. I have more donut options where I am, but I will make the long trek to Amy's Donuts here in Tucson to get like custom filled donuts and a perfect strawberry glaze on a raised donut. I will. And okay, Anne is singing the deep knowledge. I too miss a Winchell's Donuts so much, Anne.
I'm going to give everyone a chance to give questions again while I quickly run to the restroom because I have drank too much tea too quickly. I have drunk too greedily, too deeply.
I'd like to answer this question for you, Lady June Squirrel. It is not at all that donuts are too plebeian for Seattle. They love a donut in Seattle. It's that the Grand Arbiter, unfortunately, is in a donut desert within Seattle and simply is far away from donut opportunities. I think there was like a small indie place that closed up shop during the olden pandemic, but he just happens to be trapped in a neighborhood that is denying him donuts. Okay. All right, we've got two great questions up on the hopper here. I think, Ty, you asked your question about the mint choco chip ice cream previously. I think I saw it scroll past. So we're going to cue that one up, and it's going to give me time to ponder Tracy's question, which is a very, very it's a powerful question, and I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of sentiments about it. I definitely have some thoughts that I will give. But first, opinions on green mint chocolate chip ice cream, Grand Arbiter.
It's fine. I think as a kid I was really into it. But I think that was because it was green and I was very into color codedness of objects. I think for me, it's like mint chocolate. I think it does taste different personally. But I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like all ice cream is good ice cream. We respect ice cream in this household.
Yes, and now I want some. No, here's the thing. I agree with the Grand Arbiter. All ice cream is a magical experience. I love ice cream as a food group. I definitely have my preferences. I was introduced to some truly stunning ice cream whilst in Madison, a land of cows and dairy and cheese. It was delightful. But when I want mint chocolate chip ice cream, I want it with a passion that cannot be thwarted. I'm not always in the mood for mint chocolate chip, but when I want it, nothing else will do. It's sort of a perfect blending of flavors. It's like the Andes mints and Girl Scout cookies, the Thin Mints, descended into their true form, the chocolate chip mint ice cream experience, or maybe that's ascended into their true form. I don't know why they descended, but that's kind of the vibe tonight. So it's not the first one I go to all the time, but when I want it, then yeah, no. And also, I'm so happy we're on the same wavelength. That is perfect. Lady June Squirrel, salted caramel is a sacred and beautiful experience. It is extraordinary, and I mostly like it in the form of actually little caramels that I divvy out to myself one at a time over the course of months or years. I treasure every morsel. I love salted caramel. I'm like absolutely a slut for it. So in the ice cream form, it is a very elevated ice cream experience. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, we are pro ice cream. The Grand Arbiter has disappeared again. So, there is a mac and cheese ice cream. Oh, for the right cheesy film. I had no idea.
I don't need that. That's not a thing I need. It's allowed to exist. I don't need it.
All right, Grand Arbiter. I'm going to take us back up.
Sorry, I have we have a broken security alarm at our building, and I'm the only one in the building with the security code. Because I'm responsible or something. I don't know.
That's terrible, Grand Arbiter. I don't like that.
They were supposed to fix it this weekend, but they were like, I think they were like, oh, we don't have to deal with this right now. And I'm like, do we not have to deal with it right now?
No.
Could we deal with it, please?
So here it is. Madam, would you rather live with 7 kittens or 1 Saint Bernard dog? Tracy, Sassmaster General, I have to tell you.
This is a deadly easy question. This is a question for Madam in a way that, like, there's no argument here.
I love a Saint Bernard. They're lovely. They're wonderful creatures. I would ride one into battle if they were, amenable to that. I think they're mighty champions of floof and joy. But if I could live with 7 kittens, if I could live that life, the Grand Arbiter would have to tell you all about how I'd gone to my final hermitage and just ascended into nirvana, where I reside with 7 kittens. I love kittens. I have a problem. I'm not allowed to be around kittens at a place where I could take one home right now, because I have pockets and a kitten would find its way into my pocket. I have an irrepressible kitten fever.
No, you're a kitten napper.
Kittens.
I mean, this is this problem of the crisis of the world, is that it triggers your ability to need kittens real bad. Yeah, no, I think that if we have so many kittens that you can put them on top of you and then you can cover most of your body in kittens, I think that is pretty bad. I think it's bad for all of us. I don't think I see you again. I think your house begins to smell a certain way, and I am not about that life.
I would just devote every essence of my being to recording, to caring for, and to serving my new platoon of overlords, the kittens. And you know, Monsieur Gâteau would absolutely whip those kittens into shape, and they would take over the world. That is what will happen. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I have to come back to this. 7 catnip toys. This is deadly, terrible, dreadful, wonderful. I love it. So Grand Arbiter, do you have another
part of our story adventure to our personality quiz? Yes. It's ready to go.
Also, this is an excellent dream. Ty, my dream is to have a box of kittens dumped on top of me whilst ill. Yet, when you feel terrible, kittens are perfect. How can you feel bad covered in kittens? I love kittens.
Okay, here we go. Oh, drat. That pack of clockwork wolves is inside Parliament again. You better build a makeshift fighting force of automatons. Those brooms there, and those decorative swords. Now, can someone please find a telegraph and some magnets? Call your servants to deal with them. Honestly, what a nuisance. The last time you checked, the gears that run politics were not for public viewing. Make sure the wolves reach their target this time. Your last attempt to wreak havoc on Parliament ended in the loss of 4 wolves, and your next shipment of quartz eyeballs won't come for another 3 months. Haul out the guns and ammunitions. Dynamite, check. Rapid fire brass goggles, check. Starch and iron uniform, always. Follow those wolves inside. They're a perfect distraction. While you can slip in, nab every minister's wallet, and be back on your dirigible before anyone notices.
You're going to go with option 3 today.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Hopefully they will select. Okay, moving forward. Your wardrobe consists of lab coats, elbow-high gloves, protective eyewear, and a clockwork hat with 4 extendable arms for extra dexterity for those particularly sensitive experiments. Trouser, matching waistcoats, sturdy boots, and aviator goggles. Oh, and of course, all the belts, bandoliers, and purses for your lockpicks, pistols, knives, and monoculars. Whatever you have around, though you always have your leveler apron with lots of pockets, and blast goggles capable of extreme magnification. Your uniform, clean and crisp, your belt holster, and all the medals Her Majesty has awarded you for the years. Whatever the latest fashion is in Paris, ma oui.
Of course, it's the last one. Of course, it's the last one.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Oh, no.
Okay. You were born and raised. You don't recall. You think your mom was a scullery and your pa was a scallywag. Doesn't much matter, though you are grateful for these slick fingers you've inherited. By a hard-working maid in Her Majesty's summer palace, you went into the military academy as soon as you could shoot. In a ship's boiler room, by some kind-hearted engineers that found you in a shipwreck. You were kidnapped by a secret society of scientists bent on world domination. The usual stuff. In a mansion by the aristocracy. What ridiculous question. Can't you tell simply by looking at me?
Oh, I think I was raised by... I was kidnapped by a secret society of scientists bent on world domination. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Grand Arbiter, I have another question from SAS Master General.
I'm going to leave it open so I don't have to close it again.
All right. So, The most entertaining panel you've seen at a con that you were not running. I don't know. I know it's obnoxious to open and close it, but our reactions are so dear, Grand Arbiter.
Oh, fine. I'm very kind and generous.
Yes, you are.
So
Yeah.
I think if we were to pick anything, we did our first year of what's it called? We made no submissions basically for our first year of
Atlanticon?
Atlanticon, and we had no submissions, and we just attended panels, and there were a lot of good ones, but I think we really fell in love with we fell in love with their match game experience, and we really fell in love with their Hollywood Squares experience, and we really wanted to do them.
Yes,
and I think that's like really what inspired our game show moment, where we had like all game shows all the time for a bit.
It's true. We had listen, Atlanticon of sainted memory. We loved that show. It was a really treasured experience.
The only reason we stopped going is because they moved it to March, and that was untenable.
And then there was a pandemic, so it was like a twofer. But those game shows, it was really, we were sort of on the cusp of doing very similar things with tea dueling. And so seeing the kind of variety of game shows opened up a whole new realm of possibility for us. But also the thing is, we got to play, we got to participate, we competed. And this is a very sassy tea time tonight, but I did make it to the finals of their snatch game with a very, very dirty response, which we turned into a very private, limited run piece of swag.
Limited edition pin scattered to the winds. I don't even know. Do we know where the art for that is still? Do we still have that record?
I do. I still have that art. We could bring it back, but it is like, it's very adult in nature, which is why I'm sort of tap dancing around the reply. But
it's just a flower.
Yeah, it was like a Georgia O'Keeffe moment. That's absolutely true. So it was so good. Yeah, and also, yes, absolutely true. We love the Sassmaster General. No, it was so much fun, because usually, you know, we do a lot of interactive things, and we love that interactive quality. And getting to go to a convention that sort of embraced interactive panels as a whole vibe and had so many, it was like finding our people. And also we were like, oh, this is inspiring. And then it was just so fun to be competitors. We both competed in the snatch game, but I think because I look so prim, no one was expecting the things that came out of my mouth to come out of my mouth, so it gave me a bit of an edge.
Also, we're very professionally funny, so it does help that we're professionally funny.
That's true. Oh my god, yeah, cake. Let's look at toe. Sorry, I'm being attacked by the cat. Come here. Oh, you have to come to tea now. If you're going to be a brat, you have to come to tea. So yes, and oh, we're done. All right. Oh, I love this one. This is a great question. From the Argent Peacock. If the entourage had a crest, what would the supporters be? And look, I have an opinion about this. I don't know if the Grand Arbiter has an opinion.
We've talked about it a few times. We've talked about putting a crest together a few times. I know what animal I would want on crests that feature me, but I don't know if it matches our vibe. But we've talked about it a little bit about like what magical creature we want on our stuff.
We were thinking like definitely a unicorn on one side. Absolutely. At least one unicorn has to be involved.
I think that there's like unicorns. I think that it's unicorns that are like supporting it. Like that they're like the turtles from not the turtles, the elephants from Discworld that are
Yes.
supporting
Yes.
it. And then I think that there's a cat dragon.
There has to be a cat. Absolutely.
Cat dragon. So it's like a cat dragon hybrid.
Oh, yeah.
With like little dragon wings.
Oh, yes. Oh, and a shrew. There should definitely be.
I think there's shrews that are like carrying it, like with their little wings.
The shrews are like, you know how some of the really elaborate ones with the plinth and everything, they also have like ribbons and things, like being held aloft at the top with a flying shrew. That would be really fun.
And you know what magical animal I would want on it?
A peregrine.
A peregrine, because I love a peregrine. I want a stag with wings. I want to fly and feel like a little forest elf.
Please explain to everyone what a peregrine is for those who do not know. Oh, yes.
Stag. It's a winged stag.
So magical.
I just like antlers. I want a horse with spikes. That's like a horse with like a more mammally horse with spikes.
At the peregrine, I'm laughing at our wonderful community in the comments because look, one of my favorite things in the universe is that I have this weird story about me that could be very mortifying, but has become a sort of legendary piece of the lore of our community. And you have all embraced the shrew as a bird. And it makes me so happy.
That is certainly a thing that happened.
Grand Arbiter.
Do we want to try to finish up this quiz? We've only got 3 questions left.
We should finish the quiz. We should absolutely finish the quiz. All right, Grand Arbiter. Here we go. Let's find out.
As we do. Okay, so Madam Askew, your favorite reading materials is H.G. Wells, for me, thank you. Machiavelli only, please. What a bummer. Machiavelli only, Lord. Dickens, don't you know, Governor? I'm more of a Henry James fan myself. There's this great chap called Jules Verne.
Oh, listen, there's a massive problem with this question. All those authors are men. And look, Machiavelli has his place, but he is a Renaissance author, and the others are all 19th century authors. And also, Henry James, come on now. Where is my Brontes, or I don't know, my George Eliot, for instance? If I cannot have a woman author, then I'm going with Jules Verne.
I mean, keep in mind, I didn't write the quiz, and we approached it with the framework that it is bad.
It's true, but I just had to.
We've approached this with the framework of it is objectively going to be terrible.
It is, and just so everyone has my logic and understands, and also Buttery Goodness and I are on the same page. And look, so Arthur Conan Doyle, better choice than Machiavelli for this quiz, just in my opinion. Yes. So, anyway, Grand Arbiter, that's my answer. Jules Verne is who I would go with if I have to choose.
You do have to choose. We're going to keep going. We have 2 more questions left.
Yeah.
Your sidekick through thick and thin, I guess that's where we're at. It's your automaton. I think it's pet more than sidekick. This is not your best friend. It's another thing. Your automaton, Victoria, she has a sharpshooting technology and keeps all unwanted invaders out. And you programmed her to play chess. She's quite vicious, though she's yet to beat you. Oh God. Only one. You cannot possibly function without your entire serving entourage. James, bring the tea, if you please. Your parrot, Philip, He's got a clockwork voice box, and he's fluent in 12 languages. Plus, he can play clocks like no other. Bird feet. They're the wave of the criminal future.
Yes.
Your hound dog, Mercy, her keen sense of smell, flawless ears, and steel teeth keep you, and more importantly, Her Majesty safe at all times. Your wrench, Pearl, you couldn't live without her on your tool belt. From tightening loose bolts to rending enemies unconscious, Pearl always has your back.
Wow.
I feel like there's a really clear option here.
I mean, I'm probably, look, for me, it's a real toss-up between James, my entire serving entourage, and the parrot Philip, because he speaks 12 languages and we could have so many conversations. But I'm probably going to go with the entire serving entourage.
Well, and we could assume that Philip is in the entourage.
Excellent. As long as Philip is in the entourage, everything is perfect.
Okay, last question. Oh no, an army of clockwork soldiers have invaded London. What do you do? Good thing you packed this potato and coil of copper wire today. Now, if only you can get a hold of some matches, you'll have explosives in no time. What? Whose army is this? You called dibs on London months ago. Honestly, people, you can't call yourselves asylum. You at least don't stay off each other's turf. You'd think you'd hold off on fighting until you see which way the battle's gonna go. You don't want to end up helping the losing side, after all. Drat! This really interferes with afternoon tea. Good thing you have a family heirloom that destroys all things electric. First, you secure Her Majesty and the royal family. Then you smile big and haul out your largest and most deadly array of shotguns. This should be a fun afternoon.
Listen, obviously, it's all about the afternoon tea. I'm very excited to have this family heirloom that allows me to destroy all their electric things so I can get on with tea time. That's absolutely the answer. Also, we did darn those clockwork soldiers.
Okay, so you have been selected, and they've got this like weird picture of like army people. I don't understand that.
Just so confusing.
Yes, a perfectly polished aristocrat. Certainly you can fight, and rather well at that. Okay. But why bother when you have servants to do it for you, especially when there are balls to attend, royalty to entertain, and new fashions to be acquired? I hope we all learned that nobody really understands what steampunk is about.
Yes, and honestly, Tracy, my darling Sassmaster General, this is the true answer and the true win here. At least it's not AI art. Grand Arbiter, I have a question for you. I know we're wrapping up and we're coming to the end of our time for our AMA, which has been absolutely so stunning and so much fun. But my question is, if you were going to sum up your archetype as a steampunk personality into like one sentence or just like a few adjectives together, what would it be?
I think it's like I think it's like men fatale, right?
Men fatale. Yes. Yes.
A little stern, a little mean sometimes, but also slutty.
Also slutty. That's excellent. I love that. That's so good. Perfect description of you, Grand Arbiter.
What about you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I knew you'd ask as soon as I asked you.
Don't use the word bohemian somewhere in the sentence. It's just an inaccurate statement.
It's true. I am sort of a demi-mondaine bohemian who is clearly not an aristocrat, but does love the arts and can hobnob with the aristocracy.
That's
if
true.
I need to.
We're kind of like charisma vacuums, really, to be honest. We're just giant voids of charisma and need.
Yeah. No,
I'm to me. I'm beautiful.
You know what? If I'm going to sum it up into a small thing, it is that I'm a bohemian demi-mondaine. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And your ice gay times gay fatale.
I think I'd
That's
come up with something cuter if I wasn't doing it on the fly, but I definitely am. I definitely think I'm like I'm definitely sort of this sort of like an anarchistic authority.
I love that. Also, look, this is true. This is true. Somewhere in the universe is a portrait of me by Toulouse-Lautrec. I am sipping tea. My ankles probably are slightly exposed because it's dear Toulouse. But I have to share a one last very short anecdote before we wrap up. Grand Arbiter, are you prepared?
Yeah.
Excellent. So once upon a time, long, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I was creating one of my first time-traveling ensembles to attend a fancy dress party. And I decided that the perfect ensemble would be to create a zombie model of Toulouse-Lautrec, who had died by tripping in the cafe and impaling herself through the neck on one of his paintbrushes. I thought it was hilarious. No one else got the joke. It was very sad, and I loved that costume. It was really hard to make the whole thing with the paintbrush sticking through my neck. I have to tell you, that was the trickiest part.
That seems very difficult.
It was really hard. It was a great costume. No one appreciated it, but it was a sign of time-traveling adventures to come, I must say. So, my darlings, this has been an absolutely delightful time. We'll have to do it again sometime in the future, especially when the things have gone very pear-shaped and we all need a little bit of levity in our week, and we're looking for something absolutely unhinged. We'll bring it back. Thank you all for your fantastic questions tonight. Some of them stumped us. They all inspired us. They all brought a lot of laughter. Grand Arbiter, this was an excellent suggestion for the evening.
I think it's a great time. We might do this again and maybe in 4 months, see how we feel. Be sure to send in if you have questions or things that you want to suggest for our topic list for next time we do tea time. Yes. Patreon members and members of our Discord, submit your stuff. Madam, I think it's high time that we have a specific subsection of our account just regarding lives in the Discord.
Oh, I think you're right. I think
just
you're right.
Discuss lives, discuss where they're going to be, and also suggestions for topics.
Yeah, I love that. What a good idea, Grand Arbiter. I absolutely
have a lot of good ideas today.
You are so full of good ideas, and I really appreciate that about you. You know what else, Grand Arbiter?
Yes?
I treasure you, as I treasure our wonderful community, and I hope that you all treasure yourselves as I treasure you and the Grand Arbiter, despite his distress at this time. Grand Arbiter, this is my time. This is my time now. You are on the with me, and you must just put up with my sacred nonsense, because you know what, darlings, the power of sincerity and the power of love in a world that has told us that being sincerely kind and giving love to the people we care about and being open and honest about that affection for our fellow person is unworthy, and they are wrong and I am right in this case. And yes, That is correct. So please remember to treasure yourselves as I treasure you. And you know what that means. It is a sacred bond between us. And if you do not take good care of yourselves, if you don't wash your hands and get your vitamins and minerals and get your boosters and vaccines and understand that science is real, I have to haunt you like an enraged cat. And no one wants that. You'll never have another cup of tea. Your books will never be available. You, I cannot keep up with the vibe. This is amazing. I'm too unhinged. Anyway, darlings, please take very good care of yourselves. And thank you for being here and taking such good care of us by being part of our community and empowering us to do all of the nonsense. And
please,
yeah,
please join the Patreon or invite your friends to join the Patreon so that Madam can get a new bike and stop blowing out my eardrums. I would really love if that were happening. Madam Askew blows through mics like I blow through dates.
It's true, I put baffling on the microphone and it's not enough. I am like sitting almost a yard back from the microphone. I'm doing everything I can to be kind to this microphone.
If we get enough money, if we become more successful enough, we can get a sound guy to fix Madam Askew's life.
Oh my gosh, be still my heart. That would be amazing. I would love that. But also, listen, real talk, Patreon is what keeps us going and it keeps us afloat. And without Patreon, we could not do any of this nonsense that we do. It is so critical. And so many of you already support our Patreon. I am deeply grateful for that. But times are hard. We know that you have to make choices, and there have been some changes, and not everyone is able to continue. So if you find yourself in a position where you can support our Patreon,
if you find yourself saying, "This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful steampunk," you must ask yourself,
get here.
How did we get here? Yeah, if donate now, and you'll get high quality, pristine images of my bony ankles, still bony after all these years. Get boned up with a bony ankle today.
Arbiter, so good. Hello, Culture Shock. Hello, darling. It's so good to see you. So as we are going off into the world, I also want to remind you that tomorrow morning I am hosting my Sip the Tea at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I have a very special guest. Freddie Prince Charming is joining me. You think this was unhinged? Tomorrow is also likely to be unhinged, frankly, but I'll be earlier in the day, and I will be drinking even more tea than I am now. So come join us. We're going to be live in all of the places you're watching tonight. And we're going to shuffle off with the image of Kermit the Frog in a white suit with broad shoulders. My darlings, we will see you next time. See you tomorrow morning for Sip the Tea. See you Tuesday for our Stitch and Twitch on Twitch, Stitching Nonsense. See you in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, it is where the action is. We'd love to see you there. I'm going to close it out by dropping an invite to our Discord here in the comments if I can get to it. Oh my gosh, it's always a trick.
Also, know that if you're into Magic the Gathering, I've been doing some Magical Gathering content on my personal Twitch. So if you're like, that sounds not painful, join me. If you're like, magic is the worst thing that's ever happened to America, you'd be right. Not true, but you'd be right that it's pretty bad. I love it very much, but it is very bad. The idea that Madame Askew would play Magic is so horrific to me that I shield her from all possible things. I just send her art at this point. I crop it so she doesn't have to look at all the text on the cards. So feel free to head over and we'll do stuff on my stream sometimes, maybe, as I feel inspired.
Yes. And keep playing that magic, Grand Arbiter. And all of you, keep having the best, most ridiculous time. Happy Friday, my darlings. No matter what is being celebrated today, I know what I'm celebrating: our community, our friendship, and the kind, ridiculous, whimsical nonsense that we do.
And we
We'll
can
see
do
you.
that every day.
We can do that every day. So we'll see you next time, darlings. Grand Arbiter
Bye-bye!
to send us out.
I mean, you can send us out. I don't know how to do that. Oh, da 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 da.